I'm a little grumpy on little rest, so bear with me. I did some media out of Europe this morning around 3:15 after getting back from North Carolina, or I should say Mississippi, around 9 p.m. Like, if you want to find the worst route back to California, go from Jackson to Charlotte to California. Makes no sense. While I was in Mississippi, I spoke with someone, and they're great, right? They were recently sentenced to prison, and he's like, hey man, been sentenced? I'm watching your stuff, and I'm interviewing prison consultants, and I have good news for you. You're on the list. I'm like, dude, you are awesome. You're funny. You're really funny. I'm like, you're interviewing prison consultants. What does that even mean? He's like, what? I'm like, what does that mean, you're interviewing prison consultants? He's like, well, I want to learn about prison. I'm like, I really want to. I'm like, okay, so you can't really express to me what that means. So he's like, well, someone said they served like time in this camp and they could connect me to dudes. I'm like, was that necessarily a good thing to meet guys? What if they've adjusted poorly? What if they talk to staff? What if they complain about the length of their sentence? Could that be a good guy for you to talk to? Do you understand how meeting someone or getting connected to someone could totally derail? He's like, no, I didn't think about that. Good idea. Well, what else do you expect from a prison consultant? I asked him, and he couldn't express it. So here's the deal. If you want to flush money down the toilet, this is a great video for you. If you want to save money, this is also a great video for you. If you don't want to flush money down the toilet, because when I hear people say, I want to interview a prison consultant or hire one, here's my response: don't give any money to a prison consultant. Now, some of you may be thinking, Justin, have you retired? Have you been home from prison for 15 years? Are things that going that good? You no longer are in business. No, we're in business, and I need resources because it looks like I'm going to be depleting my daughter's college account to take her to game 1, Dodgers Yankees on Friday. If you would see the cost of these tickets, it's just so, I love other celebrities who don't go to one game during the year, and everyone in Hollywood who don't go to one game suddenly, I'm good. Alyssa, there's no money left for college. We're going to game. So no, we're still in business. But what I want you to do is ask good questions when you're speaking with people, whomever it is. And I like due diligence. If you ask good questions, you're going to get good answers. And these answers should guide you or get you closer to what you want. So if you've been sentenced to prison, I know what you want. You want to get out as quickly as possible. You want to influence a case manager. And you influence a case manager not by learning how to shop in the commissary or how to get a better job or bunk, but by putting yourself in their shoes. What do they expect to hear from you? What do they hear from every other prisoner? Now, I'm not dismissing the value of preparing for prison, which is why we give all of it away through our nonprofit. And guess what? This is phenomenal news for those of you who are new to our community. You're able to learn it from a dude that did 26 consecutive years in prison. I do not profess to be a prison expert. I spent 1 year in a minimum security camp 15 years ago. Someone who claims to be an expert after serving 6, 12, 18, or 24 months in one camp is lying to you. It is impossible. You do not have the depth and breadth of knowledge or expertise that comes with truly traversing the criminal justice system, transit, higher security prisons, the whole, building a network, developing content, influencing stakeholders. So rather than sell that, we give it all away in myriad ways. Every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, we have a weekly webinar. We don't pitch, we don't sell, we teach. This last Monday while I was in Jackson, Michael Santos led the webinar. Would there be value in learning from a guy who did 26 consecutive years in prison, answering your questions? Is there value in learning from someone? Feels like someone's creeping up on me. Okay. Is there value in learning from someone who documented every day of the 26 years, wrote dozens of books, educated himself? Is there value in learning from someone who was so successful upon his release because he did exactly what we tell you to do and are still doing, which is document the journey because we're authentic? Because of that record, had lifetime probation, got off after 1 year. Because of that record, gets calls from California Department of Corrections to create content in every California prison, now in every federal bureau of prison, and his course, Preparing for Success After Prison, is a first act of proof. You may be thinking, Justin, man, is this an infomercial? You sound grumpy. You've been up since 3. It's not an infomercial. It's free, but are you willing to do the work to learn from him? So when we say we're not asking you to do something we don't do and still do, it's because we're still doing the work. But it's easier for some people to say, hey, I'm going to give XYZ money to some consultant who's going to tell me where to shower, who's going to tell me how to... Is there value in that? How do you even define it? And therein lies the problem with consulting. Now, it's a problem I fell victim to for many years when I came home from prison, and I own it. I acknowledge it. Give someone money, you're going to talk about prison. I feel a little better. I have a little better understanding. There's value there, I suppose, but what else? What's the real takeaway? How does it get you closer to what you want, which is money and a career and your reputation and prestige and proving worthy of the support of your family? It doesn't, because it's not measurable. The only thing you should be investing in is creating, which is why we say, do it with our team, do it on your own, but create. And if you don't have the resources, come to our weekly webinar and learn from people who have done it. We give away all of our courses. So people that charge, like Prepare for the Probation Report and RDAP, total nonsense. I have personally prepared more than 1,000 people for the probation interview. And I got tired of doing it. I got tired of charging for it. So what did I do? I created a course that's several hours, replete with interviews from clients and judges, role-playing, mock interviews, exactly what to say and what not to say, presuming you actually want the best possible probation interview. So I test things. For example, I sent it to 20 people over the last year. No different than if you're speaking to me. Of the 24 of them logged in to do it, 20%. Think about that. Y'all want I'm sounding, you hear the y'all like I'm still in the South. Y'all want the shortest sentence. Y'all want to get out of prison early. I give you a course that helps you do that. 20% of you went through it. Not a huge sample, only 20 people, but I think you understand what I'm throwing here. I'm interviewing prison consultants. I want you to interview people and ask them, have you done what you're asking me to do? Show me. Where is it documented? How does your breadth and depth of experience relate to me? You served 9 or 12 or 15 months in a camp. I don't understand it. Part of the reason people take that route, and I've been doing this for so long and I'm in a unique position, I know. It's just easier, man. It's just easier. We got to embrace that. It's easier to talk to someone on the phone for 20 minutes about the commissary, to hear some prison stories. It's easier to think that, it's easier. And you should embrace that. You should embrace, if you truly want to do the work, if you truly want to demonstrate why you're a candidate for leniency, you should assess if you really want to be like Tracy Hatsuna. Tracy retained our team after she got sentenced to 51 months, a higher than guideline sentence. Judge wasn't a fan. Did a video with her before she went to prison. Nasty, terrible comments. She's not capable of reform. She doesn't really accept responsibility. 51 months. Yet, on a 51-month sentence, because of her work and her creation, she served 17 months. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now. Well, Justin, she did the drug program. God, I'm ornery this morning. And I also don't want to run because I'm so tired. And if I don't run now, it ain't going to happen. You maybe think, Justin, she did the drug program because everyone, RDAP, got to disclose the drinking, got to get the 18 months off, you got to get the 1 year off. It's the drug program. She didn't do the drug program. 34 months off her sentence. Why? She chose to be extraordinary and compelling. Are you? She chose to create and build and strategize every single day and share it with her case manager. And then she kept doing it. And then she thought it would be a good idea in Phoenix or Texas, Arizona, to teach a class about why she created this release plan to inspire other prisoners. Case manager loved it, authentic, doing the work. And guess what happens? You don't even ask for it. She gets like 11 or 12 months in the halfway house. You want to speak with Tracy? You can. She's available. I'll put up she's available. She then goes back to the judge and demonstrates why she's a candidate for an earlier release, why she's extraordinary and compelling. And the judge essentially took away the 11 months that he had given to her at her sentence, the higher 11 months. She had proved worthy of it. No RDAP, 17 months on a 51-month sentence. Not by accident. But when she called our team after watching a weekly webinar led by Michael, who did 26 years, she's like, I think I can learn from him, but I think I need some help. I want to create the right message. Can you help? Of course. So that's how I'm going to close this video on a grumpy Wednesday morning before I go for my run. Do not hire a prison consultant. There is no value they can provide to you, because we give it all away for free from a dude that served 26 consecutive years in prison and documented absolutely everything through our books, through our courses we give you, through our webinars. It's all there for you. So if you're able to find someone with more experience than Michael, more experience than someone who conquered 26 years in prison and who's about to hop on a plane to Dubai to work on some massive things he's going to be talking about here soon, I encourage you to hire them. God, I'm ornery and grumpy. My daughter asked me not to film a video with my hair looking like this. Whether you hire our team or not, whether you come to our webinar or not, we want you to be successful. And I speak directly, and perhaps because I've been doing this for 15 years, I've earned the right to be grumpy on a Wednesday morning to tell all of you, don't hire a consultant. Don't flush your money down the toilet. The only way you are going to get what you want is to be like Tracy Hatsuna, to create and build and document. But it's harder. It's harder because you actually have to do the work on days that you do not want to. Now I'm going to go liquidate the portfolio so I can buy 2 Dodger seats. Goodbye.